And I was really looking for something that aligned with me. And then EY's JD came and I read the role and it honestly spoke to me. I was like, okay, this is where I want to be. I could see myself working here. At around 3 p.m, my roommate called me and she asked me, where are you? I was like, I'm in my room, I'm unwell. So I decided to just sleep. And she said, dude, you got into EY. And I was like, what? That's just crazy. And everyone else was in the class, like the other two people who got selected, they were in the class and they were celebrating in the class and I could hear their noises and I was just in my room sitting like, yay, I got into EY. Hello everyone, I'm Keerthana Nair, a Vedica scholar from class of 2023 and I'm here to share my placement journey with all of you. I did my schooling and graduation from Delhi itself. I took up science in my 10th. During 12th, I was not really sure where I want to go. I like drawing and I had a science background, so I decided to go for architecture, which is a 5-year course. During my 5th year, we have to do a practical internship where we get some practical experience working with the architecture firms. So during that time, I realized that this is not the career that I want for the rest of my life. It was a very hard realization to have after 5 years because you have spent 5 years and then suddenly you realize, oh, this is not where I want to be. So then I decided to take a gap year after I graduated in 2021 and I was figuring out what I want to do next. Looked up a lot of courses. I was looking at what all architects can do apart from architecture. That's how I came across Vedica. So I came across Vedica through an alum who was already studying here. And she said that it's perfect for someone like you who doesn't know where she wants to go but wants to explore a lot of other fields that are out there. Management is something that I think everyone needs. Even if you're an artist, you're a designer, even if you're not from business background, I think management teaches you all the essentials that you need to have to become a professional. Our placement journey started by last week of August. EY came to Vedica in September. So before that, only 2 companies had come, Aditya Birla and Gartner. And while their JDs were interesting, I was not really feeling connected to the role. And I was really looking for something that aligned with me. And then EY's JD came and I read the role and it honestly spoke to me. I was like, okay, this is where I want to be. I could see myself working here. The first round was resume shortlist. So I talked to my seniors. I made sure that I curated my resume according to the JD. Thankfully, I got shortlisted. There were 18 of us who got shortlisted. And then the first round was interview. So I had my interview and it was the first time I was giving a placement interview. So I was obviously nervous. I prepared the entire night. I was sitting in the library with my friends. They also had just given their interview. And then the shortlist came that all 3 of us, me and my friends, we all were in the second round. And the interview was supposed to start in the next 1 hour. So this is around 5 p.m. and all of us are extremely tired. And we still are not able to eat or drink anything because we're really nervous. The next round is supposed to happen and we don't know what to do. And then after an hour, we get the news, sorry, the interview has been scheduled to next day in the mornings. Then we had to go back. I tried to study. I tried to, prepare, but I couldn't. My mind was saturated to the point where any new information would just explode. I decided to just sleep. I ate some good food. I watched my favorite show. I distracted myself and then I just slept for a while. And then in the morning, me and my friends, we came here and we gave the interviews. There were 3 people before me in the interview. Their interview was going for half an hour, 45 minutes. And then my chance came and my interview only went for 10 minutes. And I was like, what happened just now? Because I was really shocked that this is all they wanted to know about me. It was just a couple of very basic behavioral questions. Why architecture, why EY, etc. So I was like, I might not get it. And I also woke up in the morning feeling really unwell. I thought like maybe, I was not in my best A game. That's why the interview lasted only for such a short while. So anyhow, after the interview ended, I went back to the hostel because I was feeling really unwell and I decided to sleep. At around 3 p.m, my roommate called me and she asked me, where are you? I was like, I'm in my room, I'm unwell. So I decided to just sleep. And she said, dude, you got into EY. And I was like, what? That's just crazy. And everyone else was in the class, like the other 2 people who got selected, they were in the class and they were celebrating in the class and I could hear their noises and I was just in my room sitting like, yay, I got into EY. The moment the JD came from EY, I told my parents that I would be applying for this role. They knew that I was really excited for this role. Honestly, my mom and dad were way more confident than I was. My mom told me that you would get into EY, you don't have to worry about it. And I was like, how are you so sure? She was like, no, I know, you have prepared enough, you would get into it. And I was like, okay, fine. So when I told them the news, their reaction, I mean, obviously they were proud, but they were also, yeah, we told you, right? So it was just like, okay, thank you so much for believing in me. So I'll be joining as associate consultant at People Advisory Services in EY. So basically, we will be helping clients solving people-related problems in the organization across different functions like rewards, manpower planning, training people, organization design, all of that. So we will be helping clients from different sectors in doing that. So that would basically be my role. Before Shadow, we usually have a one-on-one interview with the career team so that they can understand where we want to go. I didn't have any one person in mind, but I was very clear about where I want to go. I told them that I want to work in HR because that was the field that was in my mind at that time, that okay, this is where I want to go. I told them that I want to work in a big organization because I have done internships before and they've mostly been very small organizations. So I shadowed under Miss Roona Dhawan, who is the people director at AB InBev. For me, it was one of the most pivotal moments of your career. Roona basically taught me how to have a long and sustainable career. I also learned from her how empathy is really important as a leader. She makes sure that she listens to you properly. Literally the first interaction we had, she asked me, so tell me about yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And she also told me her strengths and her weaknesses. And she told me that, I know that these are my strengths and the weaknesses I have, my team makes up for it. And together we make, become like one amazing team, which creates a great impact at the workplace. And she also taught me how to think beyond just my daily to-do list. So the to-do list, we always think of it, okay, this is just a task to be done. But she taught me how to, see beyond that and see, okay, this work that you're doing, how is this going to impact in the future, in the next 5 days, a year? So that is something that I've learned from her. The one thing that people don't know about the Vedica community, it's that it's one big extended family for you. So, I understand that a lot of people are coming from their homes and it can be tough adjusting here in the hostel. Everyone from the guard bhaiya to the TAs, the professors, the program team, they all would be a part of your journey here in 18 months and they will all add to your growth here at Vedica. Even right now, I just came here and I said hi to everyone, go back to the hostel and I would say hi to the guard bhaiyas and they all have helped me be part of a community. So I think that's one really great thing about Vedica. One of the biggest learning for me in Vedica has been to understand how to take up space. So I've always been someone who has stayed in the background. And I remember in the starting months of my Vedica here, we had a module with Kanika ma'am and she had asked us to write on a piece of paper, what do you want to tell yourself after you complete your 18 months here at Vedica? And I had written that I want to tell myself that I'm proud of you, looking in the mirror and not have one negative thought that says, no, you're not. And that's something that I achieved here at Vedica. I remember while I was dressing for convocation, I looked in the mirror and I told myself that I'm proud of you and I felt it in my bones. What was missing in me was my lack of confidence that came from a lack of self-worth. And I think I gained a lot of that in Vedica. So every time I spoke in the class, every time I did an assignment properly, the feedback I got from the TAs, the professors, even my own batchmates, it helped me. For me, the convocation day was the most cherished moment of Vedica here. It was literally a full circle moment for me and all of the batch here. We put on our gowns and put on the caps and then walking on the stage, taking the certificates and then seeing how each one of us have transformed. Like I could literally remember how they were in day one when I came to Vedica and how they are now. All of them have had amazing experiences and have shown amazing growth in their journey. So my favorite course here at Vedica was the project management course done by Kaustubh, Mandvi and Deepika. How this course was different was that it's not that in this course there was no theory, in the sense that he was not writing on the board and then teaching us this is what project management is. We were actually role-playing as project managers. We were divided into groups and we were given a client and we had to do the role of the project manager from start to the finish. So talking to the clients, he used to throw us curveballs like, okay, the client is very disappointed with you, how are you going to react to that? And we were just sitting there like, okay, ye kaise ho gaya? Abhi ekdam se how did the situation change? And it was a course that was spread across like 4 to 6 weeks. And each week we were learning something different. So, and we truly learned, okay, this is how project manager is like. So we learned about time management, we learned about presentation skills, we learned about how to negotiate, how to talk when the situation is not going in your favor. So, and also how to work in a team. That is like one of the key things that we learned in this course. So yeah, that was my favorite course here. I take a pledge right here, right now, to not quit and become a bold, financially independent woman.